G'day, welcome to the channel. If you don't know, today, The Last of Us Part 1 remake dropped. And I want to talk about some of the reviews and the gaming media in general. So let's get into it.
We're on a mission from God.
Before we do get into it, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And if you are not new here, hit the like button. Or do both. I don't know. Anyway, this is kind of new content for me, so I'm just winging it at the moment. But I woke up this morning to The Last of Us Part 1 dropping their reviews, and some of the stuff that I'm seeing here is out of control. Never mind what we're seeing on Twitter, because Twitter's just like absolutely nuts at the moment. I've never seen anything like it. But I just wanted to highlight a couple of things and then talk about where we're at with the gaming media and what journalism I think should mean for the gaming media. Okay, so we've got down here Jack's Act 2. This is all on Metacritic, by the way. Metacritic is sitting at an 89, which I think is out of control. That's ridiculous. But we'll get into why I think it's ridiculous in a minute. All right, so Jack's Act 2, remake or remaster? Well, I think at this point it's very clear it's a remaster, especially with what we've been seeing with AI, still performing very similar to the way that it was performing in the original Last of Us Part 1. But since its announcement last June, the name for the redesign of The Last of Us Part 1 has been debated among players and even internally between Sony Interactive Entertainment and Naughty Dog. At Jack 2, we defend the fact that it is indeed a remake. Now, if Sony and Naughty Dog are having these conversations, like, that's kind of nuts. I think we're past the remake, remaster conversation. I think people have made their minds up. They've made their decisions about what it is. My personal decision is it's a remaster. There's no gameplay difference. There's no level design difference. The only difference that I can see here so far is graphically. And I'm going to find out today, and I'll talk to you about that a little bit later too. I mean, there's a lot of things talking here about the game. The Last of Us 1 shows that Naughty Dog's gritty action game is still an enduring classic and that hasn't aged a day. Yeah, it has. Like, the damn controls are ridiculously aged. And they needed an update. Like, and this would have been the perfect time to give them the update. Yeah. The Last of Us is back with the original game that received some audio-visual overhaul, but I'm liking this, but I don't understand the score. That is back with the original game that's received some audio-visual overhauls, but nothing really new for players that have already played it earlier. The story is still good, the puzzles are still annoying, and there are even some new bugs. Like, we've introduced new bugs at this point. How is that an 85? You're not reviewing the game, guys. You're reviewing the remaster or the remake. Like, you're reviewing the work that's been done. If the work that's been done is a full game from scratch, then that's what you're reviewing. You're reviewing its you're reviewing its mechanics. You're reviewing its story. You're reviewing all of those things. But when it comes to you're reviewing a remake or a remaster on this level, you're reviewing the work that's been done. And the work that's been done here, I've only seen one bang-on honest review. And maybe I don't agree. Well, I've seen two, actually. But maybe I don't agree with the score. Here, I think maybe 60 is a bit harsh. But exactly what he said is bang on. He says, this is Attack of the Fanboy. And these guys are pretty credible. I mean, they rinsed Halo when it released as well. These guys don't mess about. They'll give you an honest review, top to bottom. They don't mess about. With a hefty price tag and less content than its more acceptable PS4 counterpart, The Last of Us Part 1 is an entirely unnecessary remake with gorgeous graphics that only make its dated gameplay stick out even more. Like, that's actual, factual, bang-on stuff, man. That's really what it is. And if you're talking about The Last of Us remake and you're talking about what we've gotten in the past, the PS4 remake was amazing. People kicked up about that remake, or that remaster, sorry. And they were upset that it was being charged at full price. And Sony back then, being consumer friendly as they were and hoping to gain the goodwill of the people, they dropped the price. And they even refunded people who had paid for pre-orders. Like, that's the sort of thing that should be going on right now. And the media should be pointing it out, but they don't. And the reason that they're not pointing it out is because they are afraid of being blacklisted by Sony. It's ridiculous. Sony has a stranglehold over our media. That's craziness. I want a media that's impartial. I want a media that doesn't care what Sony thinks, doesn't care what Xbox thinks, doesn't care what Nintendo thinks. I want a media that couldn't give two fucks whether you give me a review copy or not. We'll review it later, and I'll give you an honest review. And this is why people are turning to creators, and they're not listening to the media. Now, this one I wanted to highlight as well. Like, check this bullshit out. Absolutely insanity. This is IGN in France. And it's if we were to judge part 1 only as a remake, which you fucking well should be, mate, only as a remake, which isn't bringing anything gameplay or story-wise, the score would be 70. And that's fair. That would be fair. But at the end of the day, the Naughty Dog masterpiece is getting its very best version yet. So it couldn't be anything else than a perfect 10. Are you fucking serious? This is why you don't have any credibility, IGN. This is why you're a fucking laughingstock of the media. Like, it's, you can't believe it. But then you go to like what you would think would be a credible site. And you go to a writer who you think would be a credible person, whom you could trust to provide you with the news. This guy, take him. Works for Bloomberg. 2022 AAA backlog for PS5, Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, Last of Us Part 1 remaster, and God of War Ragnarok. 2022 AAA backlog for Xbox. Crickets. Still boggles the mind when you think about it. Gaming is about having games to play. It's year 3 in the console cycle. He didn't point, like, he's pointing out 2022, that's fine. But dude, you're a fucking journalist. You are not supposed to be biased. You are supposed to be impartial. If I was running Bloomberg, you'd be packing your shit and you'd be out the fucking door. Like, this is unbelievable. I just can't believe that these guys get away with this. And it's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone's just cool with it. And you'll hear the Sony shield saying, oh, there's no media bias. Yeah, there is, man. Sony's the market leader. The media is afraid of them. It should never be that way. Sony should be afraid of the media. Xbox should be afraid of the media. Same with governments. Governments should always be afraid of the media calling them out. That's how it should be. But it's not like that at the moment. It's fucking nuts. Like, this is, and it pisses me off, man. Like, and it just goes under the radar. We all know it. Anyone who supports Xbox, we know it. But like, this is just out of control. The dude says, I will gladly pay $70 each for banger after banger after banger after banger. Gaming is the best bang for the buck deal in modern entertainment. It's not even close. Listen, my guy. Listen. I think that Everborn Saga said it best. Shout out to you, Everborn. Charge them more. Absolutely. But getting serious. Love you, Everborn. That's bang on, brother. Bang on. But getting serious, right? This is the reason. This is the single number one reason why we are now paying $50 extra for PlayStation 5s in Australia. It's out of control. Every single time PlayStation makes a move that's completely anti-consumer, it gets backed by its fans. It gets backed by the media. It is time for the media to start fucking calling this shit out. Like, I'm sick of it. Like, it's unbelievable. You want to charge me $70 for a graphical update? The industry standard is you drop it $10. If you dropped it to 60, I could accept that. I could accept it. Your standard price is 70. I don't think that's right. No one complained about it. You know, we complained about it. I've complained about it. But any Sony shield just supports it. And let me be honest, it doesn't guarantee you quality, my man. $70 does not guarantee quality. Like where that comes from, I don't know. I mean, you go back to BioWare. If we went back to BioWare in the early 2000s and you said to me that BioWare was going to trip up and become what it's become, I'd never have believed you. That's happened with hundreds of studios. Like, that can happen with Naughty Dog, can happen with Insomniac. People move on. Directors move on. Game devs move on. Things change inside studios. Just because you're paying $70 for it doesn't mean you're going to get quality. Like, it just... Well, there goes one of my cans. It doesn't mean you're going to get quality. Like, 110% doesn't mean shit that you're paying $70. And the fact that... It just does my head in. The fact that people just support this. And they will just back it. Like, don't you want to save money? Like, it's just nuts. Anyway, look, I just wanted to have a bit of a rant about this. It's absolute craziness. I'm probably going to buy the game because I actually found a place in Australia where I can get it for sneakily if I'm quick. So I've got to bail out now and do it. But I might be able to get it for 60. It might be too good to be true. But that in Australia, that's around about 95 bucks Australian. So it's like craziness. If you buy this game at full price on PlayStation, it's $129. $129 plus $800 for your console. Like, you're talking like pretty damn close to $1,000 to play a game. That is not the best damn deal in gaming. It's out of control. And people need to start calling it out, man. Call it out. Every time you see stupid shit like this. And Bloomberg, IGN, guys, start fucking reviewing shit properly. And whoever's running Bloomberg, you got to get rid of that Tay Kim. He's a fucking moron, dude. Like, I don't know. It's nuts.